cut out for him in 2013, balancing the power tussle between US and China in the region, expectations from neighbors like Bangladesh, Myanmar, Sri Lanka and the Maldives, and that tricky tightrope of ties with Pakistan. For this Worldview exclusive, I spoke to Salman Khurshid and began by asking him about the controversy over cricket and the visa given to former cricket captain Javed Miandad.
Well, I see you can't do everything by emotion alone. You have to have some objective standards that you place for yourself. A lot of people thought that we shouldn't be playing cricket with Pakistan. Now, if there are people who think that we shouldn't be playing cricket with Pakistan or that somebody shouldn't be given a visa, they're entitled to hold that opinion. But to make that into the only news of the day, that's a bit surprising. I think that it's more than clear that we haven't ever, and nobody in Pakistan has, or for that matter anywhere in the world, put a question mark on Javed Miandad, that he has a personal involvement or that his integrity as far as these issues are concerned is doubtful, etc. So should we have just been cussid and said, well, we think emotionally you're not to come? We made categories. Those categories included officials of the Pakistan Cricketing Board and of course people who wanted to come and had return tickets, etc. The MHA draws up these categories and we follow those categories. Now you start making exceptions there, you've got to have very good reason for an exception. So I think that we should just leave it at that. The idea of cricket is to open up avenues of improving our relations, and I think there is a commitment to improved relations with Pakistan without turning a blind eye to some awful things that have happened, and we are pursuing those things as well. So, but there isn't first do this and then improve relations. You've got to move in parallel, and that's what we've done.
All right, I will move on then to what you had spoken about, the opening up of cricketing ties. You're saying there's a commitment really to improving relations with Pakistan, with cricketing ties back. Would you say relations with Pakistan are now back to the level they were before the Mumbai attacks?
No, difficult to say that. Very difficult to say that, because while I think one shouldn't let emotions run riot, there is a responsibility, there is a sense of hurt and betrayal. We are conscious of that. It's not of only the people who've suffered the loss, but the country as a whole. And therefore, these are matters that you can't turn a blind eye to. These are matters that you can't just forgive and forget. We need some closure, and that closure cannot come till we are satisfied at least that a certain level of accountability has been established.
And that acceptance does not seem to have yet come from Pakistan in terms of the full cooperation that India wants on the 2611 trial in Pakistan. I ask this because the Interior Minister Rahman Malik was in India, made it amply clear that Pakistan could not offer more cooperation when it came to things like voice samples, to other pieces of cooperation that India is looking for. Was it a mistake to have had him come? Is it a mistake to restart this process when you don't have that commitment from Pakistan yet?
Well, if you don't start a process or restart a process, you will know what disappointment you will encounter or what successes are possible. So we should have just said we'll never again talk to Pakistan. We did it after 65, we did it after 71, we did it after 82, we've done it after 92. Why should we switch off completely? But carefully factoring in dangers, factoring in the issue that remains unsolved, and looking at what signals of improvement there may be. Now, at least a trial is taking place. Of course, the visit to Mr. Rahman Malik was, I think, disappointing to say the least. We would have expected much more, but we did achieve during his visit a new visa regime. That's a part of the confidence building measures between ourselves and Pakistan. Let's hope that that's a step that is not the last step. We haven't had satisfaction to the extent that we want, but we haven't given up. We are still working on it.
What is it in 2013 that you are hopeful of the India-Pakistan relationship providing?
Well, to begin with, I think that incidents continue to happen which shouldn't. I mean, you hear of, and very reliably, you hear of attempts to intrude, you hear of tunnels being dug. Now, this must stop. This must stop. And when we get back to the horrific incidents of Mumbai, we want a trial. And we want a trial that is an effective trial. We want the voice samples. We've given a wish list. We want them to begin at least delivering on the wish list before we can say that, look, this is fine, now we can move ahead with other things as well.
You've met with the Iranian National Security Advisor, and yet India is not receiving the full cooperation it wants on that investigation into a terror attack on an Israeli diplomat in the capital.
I'm not sure that we can come to that conclusion right away. The NSA has had very good and a long dialogue with Mr. Jalili. And Mr. Jalili, when he met me, sounded very happy, very satisfied, was looking at the larger picture. But my information isn't that we are not getting cooperation. When you seek cooperation, you always want much more than somebody is able to give. So let's not say that story is over yet. We will continue to seek cooperation, and I hope that we will get it.
All right. When it comes to relations with Iran, the US has very publicly said India must decrease its dependence on Iranian oil. I ask you that question because the sense is, when it comes to Iran, now when it comes to Syria, where the West is pushing for some sort of international intervention, India has shifted its stand perceptibly, coming in line with the West. Do you think there's been a change in India's foreign policy in the last few years?
Let me just say very clearly, we remain very categorically committed to UN compliance of UN conditions and UN sanctions. We do not accept unilateral sanctions imposed by any country, and we have remained consistent with that. But whatever any country does, particularly if it happens to be a powerful country like the US, there are market implications, and whatever then the market does will affect what we are doing with Iran or with any other country.
Now, you took over as External Affairs Minister just a couple of months ago. Essentially, with elections in 2014, you have 2013. What is your biggest priority for this year going to be?
See, if you really ask me, I would consider myself very lucky if in this period we can convince the people of India, the constituents of this government, we can convince them that India has a major place waiting for it in the world. And the world's looking at India very carefully with tremendous amount of interest and willing to reach out to India. We as Indians must also know that this is so, and that we must take advantage of what is on offer to India. We cannot give the world an impression that we are not interested in the world, and particularly that we are able to carry conviction with our people to reach out to our neighborhood, both the immediate neighborhood and the extended neighborhood, because ultimately that's where we belong, and that's where we must ensure that everybody is happy.
India's External Affairs Minister Salman Khurshid in his first big interview in the new year. But when we return, the big stories of 2013 from the